Today we're going to try and release our eating block. You can do variations of what I'm doing. You can change the thoughts in your head as you're doing it. This is just a template. This is just a basic way to do it. So the first thing I usually do is I find a quiet spot. I get comfortable. You could be sitting, lying down. It's not going to take many minutes to do this, so just find a quiet spot. Now we're going to focus on the block, which is around our stomach area where the solar plexus is. It's always a good idea to put your hands there, both hands there, and do some Reiki while you're releasing the block. And now we start to breathe. So I'm breathing in, and I'm breathing out the block. And I'm breathing in, breathing out. And as I breathe in, breathing in good energy, as I breathe out, I release all the energy in the block. With every breath, breathing in, breathing out, I release the energy of the block. Breathing in, letting it go, letting the block go now, seeing the energy release. Breathing in, focusing on the area, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and releasing the block. This is how simple it is to release the block. Now you can do this for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. Do it whenever you feel like you can and keep doing it. I tend to try and see what the block looks like it might be a visual for me, it might be a big black thing, it might be a big cylinder, it might be just a whole mess of energy. I sometimes see the colour. Often when I'm doing blocks, I often see they're red, or they can be very dark black. And then as I go through and keep releasing it, the colour changes. It becomes less dense, it's easier to release, it doesn't feel like there's so much block there. This is a very, very simple practice to do, and it was very, very effective to release blocks. The most important thing you need to remember is that you put the block there, you put it there, and when you put it there, you probably made an affirmation which went, I will not go there anymore, it's too painful. I will not release the block. This is my protection. It's going to stay there. So one of the most powerful things you can do is now tell it, no, you don't have to stay there anymore. We can release it. We can let this block go. And by doing that to our mind and our body and our soul, we are restructuring how we're doing that. We are doing it a different way now. We're now telling our body to let it go, not to hold on to it and keep collecting. When you release blocks, it will take a while. You can also use an affirmation which is that I just keep releasing while I'm doing the dishes, while I'm driving the kids to school, while I'm at work, while I'm sleeping, that the block will now begin to release. The body will always do, and your mind, what you tell it to. It's just like that. It's a big machine and we're running it. So we can tell it what to do. And it's a bit like a computer, and it will do it. But sometimes the download takes a while, so you have to be patient. Releasing a block is a very, very good thing to do. It will take time perhaps, or sometimes it can be quite spontaneous. If you put your hands in that area when you're doing the eating block, sometimes you will feel sensations like tingling, numbness. Often you'll get pain. I've often had pain in my hands. That's fine. That means it's coming out. It's a good sign. And if you can stay there for as long as possible till the pain goes, that's a good idea. Remember when we put the block in, there was usually a bit of time when we put the block in where there was a numbness. That's what I noticed when I went back to my block, particularly the one in my throat. I could actually work out when it got set up, because I remember having months of feeling numb because of what had happened. I had the numbness and I kept saying, I can't feel anything, like I'm not feeling anything. That was when I put the block in. And you might be able to go back and find when you had your numb time, when you couldn't feel anything, and that's probably when you put the block in. You can also go back to that time and say, when I was 10, when I was 25, when I was 46, and I had the numb time, I'm going back there to release it. You can do this. I've done this. It's a simple practice. You can do it whenever you like. It doesn't cost you any money. It's quick, in the sense that the practices are quick. You can lie in bed when you wake up and just keep breathing your way in and out of the block. And eventually it will dissipate, it will go. Because remember, it's just energy, and that's what we're working with, to release the energy. Your eating should improve. I'm not giving you any guarantees. I'm telling you what I did and how I removed it. But everybody is different. And some of these blocks are very, very deeply rooted, that when you put them in there, you really put them in there very, very strongly, because you needed it to protect yourself from whatever situation or abuse that was happening to you. So it's going to take a while to convince your body and your mind to let it go now, because it's sort of part of you, it's part of who you are, and you can feel comfortable with the block. It's like walking around with a bit of armour. It feels comfortable, so to let it go is going to bring up some emotion. I noticed that I was also more teary, I cried more, I sighed more, I yawned more when I was releasing, and that's always a good sign when your body's making some physical things like letting go, yawning, tears coming out of your eyes. Don't think that's a bad thing. That's the emotions that were attached to the block. Good luck with what you do. I hope it works for you, and you can use it any time you like. It's a very good way to get rid of the block. There are many other tools, but I think this one is a very quick one, and it's very energetically based. So you're seeing the block, you're releasing it, you're breathing it out. Often too, we put a block in on the breath, like if we got a shock or a trauma, or somebody attacks us, we feel attacked, the block comes up on the breath, and it's because we almost hold our breath. And that's why when we breathe out and keep breathing out, we let it go, and it comes off the breath. So when you breathe in, you're breathing out, it's coming off on the breath, because it actually came in on the breath and you held it. And that's why the breathing is very important. I hope you enjoy doing the practice. I found it easy and almost relaxing and comforting, and it's very, very quick. Goodbye and good luck.